Good and evil depend on one's point of view. Must you fear what others fear? This can be confusing, and it is only the beginning. The people at the party are excited. I alone am quiet and uninvolved, like a newborn baby before it learns to smile. I am weary and rest where I am without need of a home to go to. These people are overfilled and have too much. I alone am empty, vacant, and seem to be missing something. My mind is so simple it appears to be that of an idiot. Bright smiles mask scrutiny, while I alone remain difficult to understand. I am patient and tranquil, like the ocean. My spirit is as free as the wind. These people are stuck in a rut. I alone am stubborn and choose my own path. I am different from these people. I am feeding my soul with love from my Creator. Great virtue comes from the Tao alone. It is undefined, yet contains things that are definable, like images, forms, shapes, and objects. This seems like obscure reasoning, but it is the supreme reality. This spirit, essence, life force of all things is to be believed and trusted. Since time before memory, this idea has survived, so we can know where all things originate. How do I know this? By using this. Be flexible, accepting and yielding, and you will be complete. Bend to remain straight. Lay low, stay empty, and you will be filled. When you are tired, you will be refreshed. Notice where you are lacking and accept abundance. Have too much and become confused. This is why it is best to hold on to the one and accept the world as it is. Stop putting on a show so people can see who you really are, and people will see themselves in you. If you do not compete, no one will compete against you. Those of ancient times have told us to be flexible and yield, because this brings the world to our doorstep. Speak softly and use few words. This is with the ways of nature. A strong wind will not last long. A heavy downpour of rain will not last long. If heaven and earth cannot sustain these forced, exaggerated effects, how can one person hope to do so? If you follow the Tao, you will become one with the Tao. If you follow harmony, you will become harmonious. If you follow what is lost, you will become lost. If you accept this way, the Tao will be in harmony with you and be glad to have you. Trust this power. Let it flow through you and everything will fall into place. If you stand on tiptoes too long, you will lose your balance. When you walk, if your strides are too long, you will fall down. Showing off does not reveal enlightenment. Brag about your accomplishments, and you will not be believed. Those who are self-righteous are not respected. Those who have become one with the Tao see all these behaviors as a self-indulgent waste of time. This type of behavior is painful, for it attracts disfavor. Those who cannot resist the temptation to indulge in it are avoided by peace and harmony. There is something formless and perfect, born before heaven and earth. O solitary silence, changeless and deep, great ubiquitous infinity, you are truly the mother of all creation. Speaking in silence, you have no name, but you do have a path to be followed. I call this the way. The way is great, boundless, eternally flowing, and forever returning to myself. This way is without limits. The greatness of heaven is born of it. The greatness of nature is born of it. The greatness of the earth is born of it. The greatness of humanity is born of it. The greatness of yourself is born there too. Light is heavy, still, calm. It subdues restlessness. A wise person knows not to wander away from heavy belongings, following luxurious things. Remain composed and transcend your burdens. It is best not to flit about like a fool. To be blown to and fro is to lose connection with your source. To act hastily or impulsively is to see yourself as losing your self-mastery. Travel without leaving a trace. Speak without causing harm. Give without keeping account. Then closed doors will not need locks. Knots can be tied without rope and will not be undone. It is not wise to turn your back on any being in need of help. Never waste an opportunity to save a life. This is a sure way to access divine light. While the good person is the teacher of the bad person brings an important lesson for the good person. If the teacher is not respected and the student is not loved, confusion will afflict even the most brilliant scholars. This is a great hidden truth. Know the strength of a man, but keep the loving kindness of a woman. Become a canyon in the world under heaven. This will maintain your virtue and keep your spirit forever young. Know the light, hold on to the darkness. Be an example that sets a higher standard for humanity. Keep yourself on the path without straying, returning only to the infinite. Know honor and splendor while holding on to humility. Become a wellspring of eternal virtue and power. When plain wood is fashioned into objects, it becomes something different. If you keep your original qualities, the greater whole will not be divided. You will become the greatest of leaders, for you will govern least. World domination cannot succeed. All creation is sacred and cannot be controlled. If you try, you will fail. The more we grab, the more we lose. All things have their time, just as you breathe in and breathe out. People will either lead or follow. People will either have strength or weakness. The sage has no need for extremes. Wise advisors utter dire warnings against the use of hostility for conquest. Hostility is like a rabid dog that turns on its master. Where armies gather, the earth offers only thorns and weeds. Armies are plagued by misfortune. Once a good leader has achieved the desired result, he withdraws. He does not push on to dominate. He acts only out of necessity. He is not arrogant. He does not brag, boast, or flaunt his success. He has no need to dominate. All forced actions weaken quickly, for they are not in tune with the Tao. Weapons are the tools of misfortune. It is best to hate them. Followers of the Tao never use them. People of honor stay at home and value their good fortune. Those who go to war are courting disaster. War serves evil and brings misfortune. It is not the tool of respectable people. When the last resort becomes a necessity, value your calmness and detachment above all. A victory is not a reason to celebrate. Those who seek glory are those who find joy in the kill. Such people will have no success in this world. Mourn for the vanquished, and treat every victory as a funeral. The Tao is difficult to detect and claims no name for itself. It is no person's servant. If rulers could harness its power, all creation would naturally obey. Heaven and earth would rejoice in sweet harmony. All people would live together in peace, without effort, because of their own kind, loving hearts. In the beginning, there was the Word. We divided the Word to make names. Then labels were given to too many things. Know when to stop. Too many words can be dangerous. Streams run into rivers that run into the ocean. Likewise, we are all born of the Tao and flow back to our Creator. To understand others is wise. To understand yourself is divine. To overcome others is forceful. To overcome the self is powerful. To know labor is to have strength. To know contentment is to be wealthy. Hold on to your base. Give yourself to your position and live long. Those who die but do not perish give themselves to the Tao and live forever. The Tao is like a great universal flood. It covers all things. All things depend on it, but it never stops to take possession of any of them. It works without asking for gratitude. It provides for all things without requiring their obedience. It asks for nothing. It is not insignificant. It is where we call home. It will not dominate us. We call it great. It does not claim greatness. It achieves greatness. Hold on to this great image. All under heaven will come to you without harm. They will bring harmonious peace. A traveler will stop with great pleasure for music and dining. Yet the word of the Tao, spoken out of the mouth, is bland and tasteless. When I look for it, there is nothing to see. When I listen for it, there is nothing to hear. When I use it, it is never exhausted. If you want something to shrink, you must let it expand. If you want something to become weak, you must let it be strong. If you want to lose something, first you must find it. If you want to take something, first you must give it away. This wisdom comes with subtle clarity. The soft and the weak will always overcome the hard and the strong. Fish cannot leave the water. It is still best not to let them see your hook. The Tao is forever still. It is the origin of all action. If a leader can hold on to this, all things can change themselves. People who change themselves strive for achievement. Restrain them with the simplicity of the nameless. This simplicity will cause them to lose their desire. Without desire, the world will use simplicity to settle itself. The higher virtue does not define itself as virtuous and is therefore good. Those without virtue cling to their virtuous image. This is not good. Highest virtue has no set plans for attaining its purpose. Lowest virtue plots, schemes, and plans to get its